What?
Ronda Rousey! Ronda Rousey! Yeah, man. Yeah, baby. Please. Don't go buy no more stuff, please. We done spent so much money, man. No, don't buy nothing else.
I ain't buying nothing else, babe.
Damn.
Hey, everybody.
Damn.
Betwabu. We good. We good. We'll be playing today.
Don't
Okay.
buy nothing else.
James Murphy.
You got stuff all on the floor, all around this house. Just don't.
Ain't nothing on the floor.
Pam, look over there.
You know
Look back
I'm
behind
live.
you. Look
That's
at
cases
look at
of
this.
water. Those are
Look at all
potatoes
this
that I
stuff
pulled out the pantry. Oh my gosh.
I'm just
y'all.
saying, if I open up this
Y'all
doggone
can't
pantry, you can't even close the pantry. You got so much stuff in there.
The pantry is closed. Y'all, he doing this because he know I'm live.
No, I'm not.
Look, seriously, he doing
No,
this
I'm
because
not.
he know I'm live.
No, I'm doing it because it's
Fruits and veggies, James.
financial, Pam. You know that.
Fruits and
You
veggies,
spending a
James.
lot now.
No, I'm not.
Go
He
on,
doing this
son.
because he
Just
know I'm
don't spend it,
live,
don't
y'all.
spend it.
All right, babe, love it. Have a
Don't.
great day.
Don't.
Have a great day. Have a great day. Have a great day. Drive safe. Girl, right. Thank you, Tiffany. She said, stop telling y'all business, James.
Stop.
Y'all got plant seed, and they got some condiments sitting on top of the refrigerator. And potatoes in bags sitting on the floor because I'm going to put them in my little potato thing so I can take them out of the pantry. And we got cases of water right here. He doing the most, y'all. He is doing the most. He will love me in a few weeks. He was like, baby, I'm so glad. Go to the warehouse. He be doing the most, y'all. Okay. He was so right with me at Home Depot yesterday, grabbing seeds and stuff. Shoot, talking about something, get you a tiller so it make this a lot easier. So he be doing the most because he know I'm live. TC, you know, he be. Okay, y'all. Oh, you taking all that with you?
I was joking, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you too. We're going to be all sitting here happy together in a couple weeks. Ain't nobody going to be able to leave out the door. Okay. All right, Mr. Murphy.
All right, Mr. Murphy.
Okay, y'all. He doing the most time or something. Don't you go out here and buy nothing else. I'm like, bro, the last thing we was out yesterday getting seeds and stuff. So we could finish doing some of the planting and everything that we was doing. Like I said, he doing the most because he knew I was live and stuff. Right, so, but I did. I got some extra little non-perishable things. I realized that we had a cabinet that we ain't had nothing in, so I got a few more canned foods. But I went to the dollar store, y'all. It was like 97 cents. So I found some canned goods that I didn't find in the in Food Line the other day. So, girl, you're going to be stuck in the house with him and the babies. Girl, we're going to be out there all gardening together, singing Kumbaya. Come by here, y'all. Come by here. Betwabu, Trina. Betwabu. But seriously, on the serious side, though, when I was in the dollar store yesterday, right? There was a woman in there about my age. I didn't realize she was a teacher. But as we were standing in line, you know, dollar store, they move kind of slow. When the lady at the register, she looked like she had just had it for the day. You know, but we weren't complaining. We were just standing there. And I realized, and mind you, earlier we had went out and got seeds, but I didn't realize that the dollar store had a whole little section of, I know they had garden stuff, but I didn't realize they had seeds. Betwabu, Alicia, Betwabu. They had seeds like right there by the register I was standing at. I was like, ooh, they got seeds in here. So I started looking on the rack, left my cart right there. I just stepped over maybe like 2 feet and going through the rack. I was trying to see if there was any like fruits or anything that I didn't already get from Home Depot this morning. So I'm turning through it. And the lady in front of me, she had one of her sons, because as we talked, she had like 2 more children at the house and one off in college. So she was like, oh, they got seeds. So we both were over there looking at the rack, and I realized I pretty much had everything. She said, girl, when we started talking and everything, she said, if people were smart, they'd be getting some of these. And I was like, yeah, you're right. She said, because people don't realize schools will be out a lot longer than what they just told us. I'm like, I thought, I'm like, okay, sis, you paying attention. And then she said, because I'm a teacher. And I know. So she was a teacher over here in Portsmouth. So we got to talking and everything. And she said she was calling her daughter who was off at college and everything. And she said, you need to pack up your stuff now and get home. And she was just saying that her daughter saying that she was just going to stay there on campus and wait it out. She said, no. She said, because if you do that, you're going to get stuck there and you're not going to be able to leave the state. Her daughter was pretty much saying that, Mom, everything is going to be okay. She said she really tried to talk her daughter, but her daughter was just not really paying attention. She was like, Mom, this is going to blow over, school in a couple weeks. She said, listen, baby, I'm telling you, school is not going to open back up. So I pray that her daughter listens and get home before they start doing it, start closing the borders. They already have the National Guard dispatched to 5 states. They say it's there for extra help, logistics, and all that stuff. We'll see. I get that they're doing that, but even the excuse my husband got my head set. I'm tripping. This fool bought a bike. Trina, he bought a bike. I'd be like, bro, you can't eat a bite. You better not eat not a one veggie. Yeah, like people, let me tell y'all, if y'all was smart, like seriously, like I said yesterday, before this next wave of panic hit, which is going to hit when they realize that the schools are not going to open back up. That's what I foresee happening. And it's mostly going to be parents that have kids, because the big craze is because, the students out 2 weeks got to get food to make sure they can eat the 2 weeks and everything. And that's why that big panic was there. But it's going to be another panic when they realize the schools are not going to open back up, and it's just going to. So why it's kind of calmed down a little bit and they're restocking. You got to look at it. They're changing store hours and stuff now everywhere. They say, so we can clean it. How long has stores been open 24 hours? They never adjusted their hours. But y'all do realize Walmarts and these big stores are going to be used as FEMA locations, right? They're adjusting hours. Y'all ever think about those FEMA coffin videos where they got FEMA coffins stored in every state? Why y'all think they're there, right? Because, y'all forbid, but it is what it is. Like I told you before, there are places not here in the state yet because they don't have that many deaths, at least from what they're reporting. But videos that are being leaked from people who are inside are saying it's much, much worse than what it is. And I have a friend that I pass on. Right, exactly, Leisha. It is getting real. Those are mass coffins because the funeral homes are going to be overrun, and funeral homes are not going to be able to take the bodies, whether they pass from coronavirus or pass from something else, or whether they're murdered because of the violence and stuff that may ensue. And you got to think about it. When they start locking everything down, people are going to lose their minds, especially those ones who have not prepared. That's what I'm telling y'all. While this little wave of silence is going, go ahead, back out to the store, get what you can get silently, and be quiet. Don't let people know what you're doing, because if people know you got stuff, they may come after you. Don't let nobody know where you live, no nothing. And if you were smart, you would have a way to protect yourself and your family. And hopefully you don't live in an area where the thugs and stuff gonna come knocking on people's doors and looking for food because they don't have food at their own house to feed themselves or their family. Stock up on ammo. I know it may not last a long time. Hopefully you don't have to shoot as many people as you got bullets, but I'm just saying, prepare for the worst, expect the best. Especially nowadays. Something else. The teacher in the store said to me yesterday that I knew it, but the way she said it struck a chord. She said, listen, she said, now is the time to really teach your children about what really matters. She said, because us, and she did like this, she said, we're going to be the last ones stuck here. She said, because I know some, and I'm not saying racial, but she said she know a lot of Caucasian people, they are getting out of the States because it's about to get really bad. She said, and all we got is us. She said, teach your children how to take care of one another. Y'all stick together. She said, because it's going to get bad. So, but I'm just like, I felt that when she said it because I know that and I've seen that coming. And people, they just like, they listening to what the officials are saying in the news, and it's like they're informing you, but they're doing it in a way to keep the peace, but they're not telling you the complete truth. And I have another government contractor friend. She sent me a couple messages yesterday about what's going on and the people that they're letting back in that she was saying they tested. They said they did not test, and they're coming back from overseas. They ain't ran out one test, and they were surprised. Like, you come back, you got to go through customs and checking all this. They didn't do. They just let them all in. They weren't doing anything, and she said that was completely scary. She said they're lying, telling people they're being tested. When they're coming through, she said they're doing nothing. They're just letting them get off the plane and come in and go out. So I'm just like, oh my gosh. Got a friend that works up in D.C. Government agencies are preparing to shut down. They're not telling us this. They're preparing to shut down this week. They did a test run where everybody worked from home one day this week just to make sure the networks could handle it. And then they're going to send everybody home. And they're stopping, I think I mentioned this. They're stopping some projects that are going on to prepare for some of the agencies shutting down. They say, for safety of everybody, you work from home. Yeah, okay. How many times we shut the government down? With all this other stuff going on, how many times we really shut the government down and send everybody home? I may have a little more information than some people, but as much as I know, I'll tell y'all after I verify stuff. But I'm just saying, y'all, take it seriously. Because some people are just like, girl, you're doing too much. I'm like, okay, you going to think about this conversation, everything I said, with when it died down, I told you, go out there, do what you can. Do what you can and pray that y'all give you wisdom and stuff. But I'm just saying, y'all, if you can't afford food, seeds are really cheap. They're $1, $2 a pack. Start now. It's planting season. Like I said, some things you can harvest every 30 days. I made a post. You can live off those things you can harvest every 30 days, y'all. I'm telling you. You start talking, some people I'm just like, my heart really goes out to people who are not listening. It's like, oh, God got us. I'm like, yes, but he's also telling you to prepare. Let me tell you something. And people are getting pissed because churches are shutting down. Although I don't agree with everything some of the churches do, because I think they're agents of the government once they take the 501c3 status. I know that because I did taxes for a very long time. I had my own tax practice, and I know churches don't even need to take that to get the benefits of being a non-profit organization. When you're a church, the government automatically classifies you as that. But when you take their status, you become an agent for them, and now they get to dictate what you preach from your pulpit, right? So, but they're getting mad because churches are closing down and going online. It's like, oh, you in fear and not in faith and stuff. I say, y'all completely ignorant of this book that y'all say y'all read, because even y'all told the priest to separate the people so they don't infect the entire congregation. I said, this right here, what the churches are doing is smart. They should close the doors. Otherwise, everybody going to be up in there hollering, praise the Lord, everybody in there got coronavirus and all y'all going to die in the church together. I'm like, come on, people, don't be foolish. Even y'all tells you to separate those who have been infected. Put them outside the camp. Put them in quarantine. And then the place where you go back and inspect that place and clean it. And if you don't clean it, you sit back and watch for a while. He said, if you can't clean it, burn it to the ground. I'm like, come on, people. People so spiritual, so religious that they completely miss what's right in front of their face. Like my husband always say, he said, if that was a snake, it would have bit you. All right, y'all. I'm done running my mouth for today. That's my little 2 cents. I'm just saying, y'all, prepare while you can. I'm just saying, it's to quiet it down. Stores are restocking with the stock that they already have now. So go, and there's some things some co-workers didn't prepare. Yeah, Alicia told me some stuff. She works in a hospital, and she told me some stuff that they're doing in there, and it's like, y'all, it's getting scary because the masses ain't hearing about some of this inside information with people who have like inside connections and can get more information than the masses can. Like, we try to tell y'all, but if you don't listen, okay, y'all. So, but also y'all that are getting the seeds, please pay attention to the details on the back of it. You don't want to waste and destroy your seeds. Follow those directions. If you don't know, go YouTube it. Go look it up. And especially if your seeds are scarce, if you didn't get that many, also pray over your seed. That's what I did yesterday with all the seeds we got. I'm like, Father, I ask you that you bless the seed that we're receiving, and we're about to put into the ground and grow in a house. cause it to reproduce supernaturally. Let us not waste or lose one seed. Bless everything that we plant and give us 100-fold increase of every single thing, that we may be able to feed our family, and even some of those that you may send our way during this time that have not prepared. Because some people gonna come knocking on your doors, y'all. So ask y'all to give you the increase. But I prayed over all our seed and stuff, so I would encourage you to do the same. So we prepared. That's our faith added to our works of us getting seed and putting it in the ground, because he's the one that causes the growth, the system that he put in place. We can't do anything once we put that seed in the ground. We can water it and everything, but the soil and everything that is put in, he causes the increase of that. So all right, y'all, with that being said, let's go ahead and start our reading for today. It is Monday, March the 16th, 2020. Day 98, and we are in 1 Kings 4, 5, and 6. And today is not that long, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're going to get out of here, y'all, because I got a dentist appointment. So King Solomon was king over all of Israel, and these were the princes which he had: Azariah the son of Zadok the priest, Elihoreph and Ahiah the sons of Shisha scribes, Jehoshaphat the son of Ahilud the recorder, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada was over the host, and Zadok and Abiathar were priests, and Azariah the son of Nathan was over the officers, and Zabud the son of Nathan was principal officer and the king's friend, and Ahishar was over the household, and Adoniram the son of Abda was over tribute. And Solomon had 12 officers over all of Israel, which provided victuals for the king and his household. Each man his month in a year made provision. And these are their names: the son of Hur in Mount Ephraim, the son of Dekar in Machaz, and Shalabim and Beth Shemesh, and Elon Beth Hanan, the son of Hesed in Arubath. To him pertained Sokoth and all the land of Hepher, the son of Abinadab in all the region of Dor, which had Taphanath the daughter of Solomon to wife. Baanah the son of Ahilud, to him pertained Takana, Megiddo, and all of Bethshan, which is to Zartanah beneath Jezreel, from Beth Shean to Abba Meholah, even unto the place that is beyond Jokneam. The son of Geber in Ramoth Gilead, to him pertained the towns of Jair, the sons of Manasseh, which are in Gilead. To him also pertained the region of Argob, which is in Bashan, 80 cities with walls and brazen bars. And Henadab, the son of Iddo, had Mahanaim. Ahimaaz was in Naphtali. He also took Basmath, the daughter of Solomon, to wife. Baanah, the son of Hushi, was in Asher and Aloth. Jehoshaphat, the son of Peruah, in Issachar. Shimei, the son of Elah, in Benjamin. Geber, the son of Uri, was in the country of Gilead, in the country of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and of Og, king of Bashan, and he was the only officer which was in the land. Judah and Israel were many, and the sand as the sand which is by the sea in multitude, eating and drinking and making merry. And Solomon reigned over all the kingdoms from the river unto the land of the Philistines, and unto all the border of Egypt. They brought presents and served Solomon all the days of his life. And Solomon's provision for one day was 30 measures of fine flour, and 80 measures of meal, 10 fat oxen, and 20 oxen out of the pastures, and 100 sheep, besides harts and roebucks, and fallow deer, and fatted owl. For he hath dominion over all the region on this side of the river, from Timsah even to Azal, over all the kings on this side of the river. And he had peace on all sides round about him. And Judah and Israel dwelt safely, every man under his vine and under his fig tree, from Dan even unto Beersheba, all of the days of Solomon. So Solomon had 40,000 stalls of horses for his chariots, and 12,000 horsemen. And those officers provided victuals for King Solomon, and for all that came unto King Solomon's table, every man in his month, they lacking nothing. Barley also and straw for the horses, and dromedaries brought they unto the place where the officers were, every man according to his charge. And God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding, and exceeding much, and largeness of heart, even as the sand that is on the seashore. And Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of all the children of the east country, and all the wisdom of Egypt. For he was wiser than all men, than Ethan the Ezrahite, and Heman, and Chalcol, and Darda, the sons of Mahol, and his fame was in all the nations round about. And he spake 3,000 proverbs, and his songs were 1,005. And he spake of trees, from the cedar tree that is in Lebanon, even unto hyssop that springeth out of the wall. He spake also of beasts, and of fowl, and of creeping things, and of fishes. And there came of all the people to hear wisdom of Solomon, from all the kings of the earth which had heard of his wisdom. 1 Kings chapter 5. And Hiram, king of Tyre, sent his servants unto Solomon, for he had heard that they had anointed him king in the room of his father, for Hiram was ever a lover of David. And Solomon sent to Hiram, saying, Thou knowest that David my father could not build a house unto the name of Yahuwah his God for the wars which were about him on every side, until Yahuwah put them under the soles of his feet. But now Yahuwah my God hath given me rest on every side, so that there is neither adversary nor evil occurrent. And behold, I purpose to build a house unto the name of Yahuwah my God, as Yahuwah spake unto David my father, saying, Thy son, whom I will set upon thy throne in thy room, he shall build a house unto my name. Now therefore command thou that they hew me cedar trees out of Lebanon, and my servants shall be with thy servants. And unto thee will I give hire for thy service according to all that thou shalt appoint. For thou knowest that there is not among us any that can skill to hew timber like unto the Sidonians. And it came to pass, when Hiram heard these words of Solomon, that he rejoiced greatly, and said, Blessed be Yahuwah this day, which hath giveth unto David a wise son over this great people. And Hiram sent to Solomon, saying, I have considered the things which thou sentest to me for, and I will do all thy desire concerning timber of cedar, and concerning timber of fir. My servant shall bring them down from Lebanon unto the sea, and I will convey them by sea in floats unto the place that thou shalt appoint me, and will cause them to be discharged there. And thou shalt receive them, and thou shalt accomplish my desire in giving food for my household. So Hiram gave Solomon cedar trees and fir trees according to all his desire. And Solomon gave Hiram 20,000 measures of wheat for food to his household, and 20 measures of pure oil. Thus gave Solomon to Hiram year by year. And Yahuwah gave Solomon wisdom as he promised him, and there was great peace between Hiram and Solomon, and they two made a league together. And King Solomon raised a levy out of all of Israel, and the levy was 30,000 men. And he sent them to Lebanon, 10,000 a month by courses. A month they were there in Lebanon, and 2 months at home. And Adoniram was over the levy. And Solomon had 10,000 that bare burdens, and 80,000 hewers in the mountains, beside the chief of Solomon's officers which were over the work, 3,300 which ruled over the people that wrought in the work. And the king commanded, and they brought great stones, costly stones, and huge stones, to lay the foundation of the house. And Solomon's builders and Hiram's builders did hew them, and the stone squarers. So they prepared timber and stones to build the house. Last chapter for the day, y'all. 1 Kings chapter 6. And it came to pass in the 480th year after the children of Israel were come out of the land of Egypt, in the 4th year of Solomon's reign over Israel, in the month Ziph, which is the second month, that he began to build the house of Yahuwah. And the house which King Solomon built for Yahuwah, the length thereof was 80 cubits, and the breadth thereof 20 cubits, and the height thereof 30 cubits. And the porch before the temple of the house, 20 cubits was the length thereof, according to the breadth of the house, and 10 cubits was the breadth thereof before the house. And for the house he made windows of narrow lights. And against the wall of the house he built chambers round about, against the walls of the house round about, both of the temple and of the oracle he made chambers round about. And neithermost chamber was 5 cubits broad, and the middle was 6 cubits broad, and the third was 7 cubits broad. For without in the wall of the house he made narrow rests round about, and the beam should not be fastened in the wall of the house. And the house, when it was in the building, was built of stone, made ready before it was brought thither, so that there was neither hammer nor axe nor any tool of iron heard in the house while it was in the building. For the door in the middle chamber was the right side of the house, and they went up with winding stairs into the middle chamber, and out of the middle into the third. So he built the house and finished it, and covered the house with beams and boards of cedar. And when he built chambers against all the house, 5 cubits high, they rested on the house with timbers of cedar. And the word of Yahuwah came to Solomon, saying, concerning this house which thou art in building, if thou wilt walk in my statutes and execute my judgments and keep all my commandments to walk in them. That's what Yahuwah has always said to his people. If you would keep my statutes and my commandments and walk in them, then I will perform my word with thee, which I spake unto thy father David, and I will dwell among the children of Israel, and will not forsake my people Israel. And like I said before, that's what Yahuwah said his new covenant would be. He said he wouldn't take his commandments away. He said now, instead of them being written on tablets of stone like he did for our ancestors, he said, my new covenant will be that I will write my laws and my statutes and my commandments on your heart, so that our hearts will compel us to walk in his ways all the days of our life, and he will forever bless us and the generations of our children who come after us, because we walk uprightly before him, y'all. I don't know how we missed that. And the churches, for some reason, it's taken away. That's why we see all the foolishness, because we've forsaken his law, statutes, and commandments. Oh, and I want to tell y'all something real quick about Passover that's about to come up too, while they may still have it in the store, y'all. Verse 13. And I will dwell among the children of Israel, and will not forsake my people Israel. So Solomon built the house and finished it, and built the walls of the house within the boards of cedar, both the floor of the house and the walls of the ceiling. He covered them on the inside with wood, and covered the floor of the house with planks of fir. And he built 20 cubits on the sides of the house, both the floor and the walls with boards of cedars, even built them for it within, even for the oracle, even for the most holy place. And the house, that is, the temple before it, was 40 cubits long. And the cedar of the house within was carved with knops and open flowers, all with cedar. There was no stone seam. And the oracle he prepared in the house within, to set there the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah. And the oracle in the forepart was 20 cubits in length, and 20 cubits in breadth, and 20 cubits in the height thereof. And he overlaid it with pure gold, and so covered the altar which was of cedar. So Solomon overlaid the house within with pure gold, and he made a partition by the chains of gold before the oracle, and he overlaid it with gold. And the whole house he overlaid with gold until he had finished all the house. Also the whole altar that was by the oracle he overlaid with gold. And within the oracle he made 2 cherubims of olive tree, and even 10 cubits high. And 5 cubits was one wing of the cherub, and 5 cubits the other wing of the cherub. From the uttermost part of the one wing unto the utmost part of the other were 10 cubits. And the other cherub was 10 cubits. Both the cherubims were of one measure and one size. The height of the one cherub was 10 cubits, so it was of the other cherub. And he set the cherubims within the inner house, and they stretched forth the wings of the cherubim, so that the wing of the one touched the one wall, and the wing of the other cherub touched the other wall, and their wings touched one another in the midst of the house. And he overlaid the cherubims with gold, and he carved all the walls of the house round about with carved figures of cherubims and palm trees and open flowers within and without. And the floors of the house he overlaid with gold within and without. And for entering of the oracle he made doors of olive tree. The lintel and the side posts were a 5th part of the wall, and 2 doors were also of olive tree. And he carved them upon the carvings of cherubims and palm trees and open flowers, and overlaid them with gold, and spread gold upon the cherubims and upon the palm trees. So also he made for the door of the temple post of olive tree a 4th part of the wall, and the 2 doors were of fir tree. The 2 leaves of the one door were folding, and 2 leaves of the other door were folding. And he carved thereon cherubims and palm trees and open flowers, and covered them with gold fitted upon the carved work. And he built the inner court with 3 rows of hewed stone and a row of cedar beams. In the 4th year was the foundation of the house of Yahuwah laid, in the month of Ziph. And in the 11th year, in the month of Bul, which is the 8th month, was the house finished throughout all the parts thereof, and according to all the fashion of it. So he was 7 years in building it. And that, my beautiful people, is our reading for today. That was 1 Kings 4, 5, and 6. It is day 98, Monday, March 16, 2020. Okay, quick note. Passover is coming up. It is April the 7th at sundown. Remember, the very next day we're going to Feast of Unleavened Bread. All right, so on Passover we are required to partake of the lamb. Right now, as the days being, and seeing that I am plant-based, I want to follow the commands as much as possible. So I said on that day, and on that day only, I will partake of lamb. So, granted, we're not slaughtering ourselves, but today it's a memorial feast for us to remember what Yahuwah did, right? So, if you have not gotten lamb, you don't have to go out and buy a big rack of lamb. They actually sell small portions. Like I got ours from Harris Teeter. There was like small packs. They're about $6-7, but just get enough, for you and your family. You ain't got to, you can make a whole meal of it. If you like lamb, then get whatever you're going to eat. But it's required on Passover that we're to eat the Passover meal before midnight that night. And if we don't eat all of the lamb for all our household, only get as much for your household. Don't get a whole lot or whatever what you're not going to eat. Don't cook more than what you can eat. Just cook only enough of what you and your household can eat. And it says whatever is left is to be burned up. So I would recommend get enough that that you and your family are going to eat, that you can eat all of it. Otherwise, you're going to be burning up some food. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, you ain't got to go that far, but I'm just saying, get a little small pack or whatever, you can eat. That way you ain't got to set fire to the meat. I'm just saying. You get it. It's practical things I'm thinking about. So, I don't know how many of y'all can go out there and set fires to the meat if you don't eat it all. That's what I'm saying. Get only small portions of what you're going to eat. So, go get it now. At least I know here the Harris Teeter still has some. They even got like a rack of lambs and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, ain't no way we're going to eat all that, So I'm going to eat a small little portion and keeping with the command, making sure I obey. Because the way things getting, I was like, Father, we make sure we follow all these commands to the T as much as possible. Because if this be the Passover that so happens, because also you got to put all this information together, the 400 years. All our people are still in captivity. All our people all over the world. He said he's going to come and punish all the nations who have raped and pillaged and taken advantage and murdered and killed all his people. And we're scattered to the four corners of the earth. If you have not been paying attention, I haven't been posting any of them lately, but there are still catastrophes other than the coronavirus, like weather catastrophes that are still killing people all over the world. If you go out, can you grab me a pack? Girl, you heard Mr. Murphy. He told me not to go out and buy nothing else today. But, sure. I'm going to let you know. Are you working today? I didn't even check the calendar to see who was working today. I'm going to look and let you know. You know what? I'm going to look and let you know if they still got some over here. I'm going to look and I'm going to let you know. I'm not sure. You got Food Line close to you. Food Line normally has it too. If you out, just go look and see if they got some and check on the prices of it. Like I said, it's on like $6-7, So check, but okay, yeah, go check over there. And it's normally they got it in different places. Look at the meat section over there where they got like the chicken breast and all that stuff, but you got to look because it's a very, very tiny section, and it's like one little where they put the lamb at. I've noticed in a couple places. So just go look, but you want to make sure, like I said, while they restocking stuff, y'all go ahead and put it in your freezer, so that way Passover is coming up in a couple weeks, y'all. That way you can keep to the command as much as possible. Like I said, we're doing it out of it's like practice and repetition, so we don't forget what Yah has done for us. Like he said these are I just forgot the word, but anyway, we're to observe it every year, a remembrance feast, y'all. All right, y'all. That's what I wanted to say about make sure you go get some lamb. So when Passover you can have that. And Feast of Unleavened Bread is a 7-day feast which begins the very next day, and you're not supposed to eat anything with yeast in it for those 7 days. Why? Because when he delivered them from Egypt, they didn't have time enough for their bread to rise, so they all ate unleavened cakes, unleavened bread for 7 days. So when he said, look, time to go, matter of fact, on Passover, he told everybody, he said, have your staff in your hand, have your shoes on your feet, because in the morning, it's deliverance. Matter of fact, he told them, go out, borrow everything you can from your neighbors and everything, because after this night, this is going to be the last plague, and Pharaoh is going to let you go. And I will also recommend that you start reading with your family, get familiar with the book of Exodus, because that's what you do during Passover and Exodus. You just recount the stories of what happened during that time and why we are to observe these feasts every year, to remember what Yahuwah did for us. And I know, granted, nowadays people think that was impossible because our generations for a long time haven't truly seen a real move of Yah. We really have not seen the power of Yah on a wide scale like they did back then, and some people don't even think it's possible. They've completely discounted it. We've seen it in little areas of our lives individually, but as a mass or whole where the entire world is at eye and say your God is God, our generations haven't seen it, so they don't believe it can happen. So all right, y'all, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and bless us and get out of here. May Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon us and give us his peace. All right, y'all, I love y'all. Be safe out there. Follow directions and prepare, y'all, because when it happens, it's going to happen like that. And people are like, oh, my gosh, why didn't I? Everybody making jokes and memes now, but it's funny now until it ain't going to be funny no more. So with that being said, y'all, I love y'all. And I'll see you in the morning. Peace.